Don't worry, we are starting soon. Okay, welcome everybody. I'm Takeshy and this is just a random reading session. That was not planned at all. Also, I'm still just making my coffee. Also, let me check if I am not robotic voice. Because it happened before. Everything should be right. Other than you not seeing my face. But it's here. I can tell you it's not missing. It's here. I'm just not ready anything. Okay, let me open up Desperados. We are on chapter 76, if I'm right. Yep. There we go. Are we ready to this chapter? It's a 5,600 words. Okay, we can do that. But first I need my phone because the level people might actually phone me at any time. So give me a second. War is not about who is right or who is wrong, but about who is left. I see the titles, yes. Also, yeah, there are some cuts and bruises in my face, but that's from the shaving. I'm sorry about that. If you have you have to look at that, but it's better than looking at my unkept beard. So that's what we got. So this is gonna be about Star, who is at the followers camp. And there she is there as well. Also Bridget, don't forget about Bridget. Don't have much fish here there, but just a razor and some water. Well, sadly my face is not really happy about beards. It's really unkept. Even if I try to shave it to shape, it's not gonna work at all because it's rare. What's wrong? So it's the first kind. So I guess let's just start with follow the Equestria Desperados, chapter 76. While I'm actually checking for the music, I don't even know which one I checked. I placed it before because for some reason YouTube decided that it's gonna scramble the music. So while we are setting this up, you can have some rock music in the background. Yeah, it's I don't like this. Why did you do this? I prepared music. Okay, we're just gonna go with random then. I can't do anything about this. But let's go with not rock. This music is fine. But we want something that is not just fine. We're gonna keep with this one for now. And we will see where this goes. So checking the voice levels, everything should be fine. Let's just simply start. Further Equestria chapter 76. Those who are right. Also don't forget this is Desperados. We got all the stats for Star Charter. Special. Strength is 7, Perception is 6, Endurance is 6, Charisma is 5, Intelligence is really low at 4, Agility is 8, and Luck is 4. Skills, Explosives, Small Guns, and Melee Weapons. I don't know why it is on the beginning of the story, but it is here. Trait, Kamikaze. Star Charter acts fast and recklessly when in conflict. She is often first to attack, or even when taken by surprise. Because of her reckless nature, she rarely gets out unscathed, having -2 damage threshold. Trait, Hard-Blooded. Star has a 15% damage increase, but a -2 to Perception and Agility when hers is below 50%. Well, is it really hard-blooded if it's a carnivorous blood? Unique trait, Evil Eye's Corruption. Star was given the power of the Evil Eye at the age of 11. This gives her the power of terrifying presence when making eye contact, as well as regeneration. The use of Evil Eye does damage to Scar. Starts with bleeding from her eyes, which progresses until she is bleeding for every orifice. Her regeneration keeps the Evil Eye from crippling her. Through magical, the eye uses her natural energy to heal. Because of this, she will need to eat or rest her body to consuming itself. The self-consumption of her body also puts great strain on her body. It pumps adrenaline to extreme levels and causes her to go into a berserk state of hunger. Develop perk. Cantalot Gourmet. That's a strange way to say fried gourmet. Your descending palette allows you to gain more health benefits from food and drink, and resist substance addiction. So if you actually eat food instead of other ponies, you get more benefits. Develop perk, Fall at Heart, opens up dialogue options with younger NPCs and characters. Because, I mean, can we really call that Fall at Heart? We call this mother. We call this motherhood. Learn skill, Stone Throw. When tossing heavy rocks for hours on end, a pony quickly learns how to throw them a bit better. Skeleton can throw weapons 10% further with 10% more accuracy. You don't really need to throw them. Maybe in this lesson. Chapter. Perk. Earlier sequence. Star reacts a little faster in a fight, possibly faster than any pony around her. This often gives her the first strike in a fight, because she is experienced. Perk. Pathfinder. Star's intuition leads to the right direction, even if it's down a twisting path. She will commonly find shortcuts when traveling or avoid going down the wrong path, all through intuition alone. Throwing bombs. Yeah, that makes sense. Perk. War Dancer. Yeah, we know this one. This is the one she got. All is fine, love and war. And being able to move one's hips can also help in both. When dealing with the opposite sex, dog gains a negative 5% damage taken and a 5% given, along with newer dialogue options. Here, Cosmic Cutlass. A sword that both holds an edge and is more durable than any known metal. What more strange is its ability to take in and hold heat. The blade will have an added burning effect if ever near a high heat source. So it's a 1000 degrees knife, basically. Nice tackle is regarded. An enchanted 10mm fully automatic pistol with snake-like engraving and paint that resembles the Ghost Night Stalker. It has the ability to minimize those hit by its bullets. Outlaw, a 10mm Griffin Stone typewriter made by the gunrunner Hardballer for controlled and sustained fire. Perfect for life in Wasteland. Though heavy compared to all other SMGs, it almost has no recoil and is built even to outlast its user. The gun also has an air of mischief and style, only a Hugush pony could truly enjoy. This is really a character recap. Oh! It's a filler episode! Companion, Caval. This young ghost stalker will go wherever Star goes, as her protector. I was about to ask if any of the night stalkers are there. I mean, Caval is. I know, just the first part. Let's see if Indashes will fit this. Yeah, that's a little bit too dark for that. I can lower that. We can use this. Because the first word I saw was pain. Well, that's just a print out that Caval has attached itself to Star. Yeah, that makes sense. It was like a pain I had never known before. It was worse than any physical injury, a sharp word. I could lash out any kind of pain to make myself feel better by breaking a leg or two, but no. There was no making myself better from this. The pony I wanted to hurt for it was far out of my reach. This pain bore itself deep inside of me, so deeply, that I knew it was not permanently part of me. It was something I would have to live with until I die. Was it guilt? No. I heard guilt was like a heavy weight on one's back, where this was more like a void. Part of me had been carved out, leaving me empty on the inside. Loss. That had to be it. I was looking at Prism, and it made me feel hollow. Prison's breathing had only become weaker as the day turned to night. Each breath filled me with the dread that was the last one. I knew she could not live forever. We lived in the wasteland. Ponies die here. Every pony dies at some point. Not even the goddesses were exempt from that truth. Looking down, Bridget was fast asleep next to me. Her energy died down with the sunset. I was at loss to what I was going to do next. How was I to raise Bridget without Mom? Do I take her with me into Desperados territory, or leave her here with the gun hunters? Just thinking about it made me want to hurt myself for letting things get this bad. If Skipper had not run off, then Bridget would not be at the whims of her irresponsible mother. Disappearing to become a Talon and never showing his beak to the last 6 years, I can still remember what I saw in the pink hippogriff fool. The flaps of the tent rustled as Jolly had quietly trotted in. She nodded at me as she went over to check on Prism. A long sigh came from her. The girl looked over at me and motioned with her hand for me to go outside. Stepping out together, Jolly pulled out a packet of cigarettes. They were clearly hoof-rolled. It was not something from the old world. Passing me one, I accepted. We both shared a moment of silence as we breathed in the wasteland tobacco. It was harsh, but strong in flavor and effect. How much longer? I asked. Jolly's eyes looked tired, both from having to do this for even 200 years, and that it was another friend she was burying. Not long. She will likely go soon She will likely go soon. Yeah, it makes sense, but it's something that I wouldn't word it like this. She will likely soon go into a state in the extreme pain. Possibly some mutation or rapid tumor growth. That's why I'm offering to let her die with dignity. I stared at her, but held back, as I swallowed down my anger at her suggestion. How so? She took a little drag from the cigarette. Smoke escaped holes in her cheeks and some in her neck. We happen to have a very powerful opioid in our stock. It's too strong to be given to any pony without killing them. It can be diluted, but the risk of addiction is still considerably high if used. It should be powerful enough to ease Prism pain as we disconnect her life support and let her pass away peacefully. Or Southwood gets back with the veto. Taking a long drag myself, the nicotine filled my lungs and restored a brief sense of calm. I didn't like the suggestion to hasten Prism's death, but if anything could ease her pain, I wanted her to have it. Are you sure that will work? Not my first time doing this. Friends, family, strangers. Met a lot who could not be saved, but it would suffer greatly if I did nothing. Sometimes it was a plague. Other times it's a fellow ghoul who finally found Farrell. Met one pony who had all their limbs cut off by raiders and just wanted the pain to stop. Jai took another long drag of her cigarette, turning it all to ash before dropping it and stomping it out before she continued. It's part of the job I hate the most. No matter what any of us do, the patient is being harmed. I've seen some with weaker minds be driven mad from having to do such things. After that, the only solution I can see is let them go. It's one of the few times when I've administered a bullet as the solution. Not for that way, you can't heal cancer. It's why camo is a poison, and cancer has to be killed. And that makes sense. Yeah, I remember speaking about this, that you basically just shut off any kind of chance that the miracle liquid would work. Because it's cancer. I also finished off my cigarette. It took the time to process all of this. I knew there was nothing I could do to save Prism. What was done to her far beyond any pony's ability to fix. She was clearly in pain, and it was getting worse. I was also leaving soon, and I didn't want to leave her alone again. No, not again, and not like that. Alright, but I want to say one last thing to her, I told Jolly. The girl simply nodded back to me. Getting back inside the tent, I went to Prism. I again had her roof. Jolly soon entered. Following her was the one of the other icons, who gently levitated Bridget out of the tent. Taking a deep breath, my mind was all mixed up on what to say, but eventually I found the words. I'm going to miss you, Mom. So much that it hurts. But I'm going to try my best out there. To be the good pony you saw me as. To show Bridget that her mom is like the hero from the book. I also make sure that she has a safe place to grow up. There's a chance that I will mess up again, but I make sure to set things right if I do. So don't worry about me. I'll be fine. When it's time for the voters to finally claim me, I'm sure we will meet again. I will tell you all about what good I've done and how Bridget has grown up to be a fine mare. Prism started as her eyes opened slightly, a small smile formed on her face. I expect nothing less from my daughter. Holding her hoof tightly, Juliet missed at the cam. For a brief moment, Star turned to Prism. I love you, Star, she said, with her eyes closed, and she drifted off. Julie stopped as the machine kept Prism alive. The pulls in her roof grew weaker and weaker, until it just stopped. I held on to her a bit longer, as I did my best to hold back my tears, but they just flowed anyway. Finally, and painfully, I let go of Prism, making sure her hoof was pushed over herself and not left hanging. She looked peaceful, as though she was finally getting the sleep she had deprived from herself all these years. Jolly placed the old two-word bits over the Prism's eyes before placing a blanket over her face. She then tossed it over to me and raised the hoof to console me. However, I didn't want to hear it and slapped her hoof away. Give me some time, I told her. The old girl did just that, and she left the tent, letting me be alone. I sat there, not knowing what to do or where to go. Without Mom, I had no home. Mom had been my home, and now she's gone. As I let the tears flow from my eyes, the exhaustion from everything today began to take me over. I let it go. I let sleep take me as I sat next to Prism. For one last time, I wanted her warm next to me, even as it fades. I don't know what this is. Remembrance? Sure. Welcome back, Star. It is both. She she cleaned the broken glass at her bar. You look like you can use something dry and filled with flavor. I have someone found myself as little watering hole, but it was not in town. The place was literally in the middle of nowhere. Nothing seemed familiar. It was just dry, barren land, filled with dead plants and bones. Yeah, it's about... Oh, it's a ghoul! Sure. Above me was the biggest and reddest moon I had ever seen. Here, it's in the house. And before you ask again, the answer is the same. It's an investment. No strings, just expectations. Litty then placed several bottles on the table in an ice-filled bucket with glasses inside. It also had a fresh lemon. I had never actually seen an actual lemon in my life before. Well, more than just a ghoul, obviously. What? How? What is this place? I asked her. The ghoul lady began mixing the drinks together. You are neither here nor there. We are someplace that isn't someplace. It's clearly a dream, but you are very much awake. This did not help. In fact, it only made me more confused. Have I gone mad or delirious? Letty chuckled as she used some sort of press to squeeze the juice of the lime into a small cup, then poured it into a glass. A bit late to ask that. You went mad a long time ago. It can be said that you were born mad. Insanity is not your natural state. She grabbed a large bottle with a mushroom popped the cork out. She grabbed a large bottle with a mushroom and popped the cork out, probably. It popped! Bubbles flowed out as she poured some of it into the glass. Now sit and enjoy this drink. You're going to need it. Taking a deep breath, I sat down while looking at the fancy drink. Before I could ask another question, Letty answered. It's called ambrosia. It's quite a popular drink in Canterlot during the Equestrian Golden Age. Celestia was the one who named it that. It also helped that it's quite good tasting drink, though pales in comparison to actual ambrosia. Mushroom-shaped cork. Oh. Yeah, you missed the opportunity to say that with the mushroom. I took a sip of the drink. I found that it tasted wonderful, but I also found no joy in drinking it. By ambrosia? What do you mean? Oh no, it's far from the conduction of warp magic. Letty assured with a chuckle. Something you will find out eventually. Then in the drink. The rest of the drink. I tossed the empty glass. It shattered in the distance. Alright, tell me what's going on. I demanded to know. What the fuck is all this? The fuck is wrong with the moon? How the fuck is your bar out here? And how the fuck did you get a fresh lemon and ice? She smiled at me with her perfectly white teeth. Dear Star, that's not for you to know. Not yet, that is. Or maybe ever. I'm just making sure you understand what must be done. Fuck what must be done. Tell me what all this shit is. I'm going to break your fucking face. I don't know if you understand, but I'm not in the mood for crazy shit right now. I thought on Letty. Somehow Letty became far more menacing looking. Her suit seemed to be made of shadows. A skeletal figure that was even more thin and frail. All the while, her empty eyes glowed with blue light. Letty spoke with loud whispered voice that sounded like it was the wind itself. I don't think I have whisper voice. Abandoned child, blooded fighter, navigator, cannibal, daughter, mother, friend, enemy, and all those deaths. A body can become many things in their life, many of which will condemn them to death. You are no different. Only by negligence of others, you have been given the life to achieve those titles. A privilege that can be revoked. That's enough! Oh, I thought that's her. The voice of a meek mare spoke up, causing Letty to turn back to normal. Joining me at the bar was a cream grey colored unicorn with a red, orange, and yellow mane. She had freckles covered face and the cutie mark of a painted rainbow. It somehow felt very familiar to me. The mare looked at me and smiled as she plat Letty 2 bits. Letty quickly made her ambrosia cocktail before going back to cleaning another glass. Who are you? I asked, feeling eased by her presence. She chuckled. You know, I never could tell how tall you actually are. Everybody just seems too small when you are so tall. Looking her in the eyes, I just knew. Mom? President Payne smiled warmly as she took the drink Letty made. I can't even remember how old I was when I gave myself to Unity. But then I didn't care at the time. All I cared about was running away. It was all I had left. And the landing cloud cover robbed my dreams of seeing rainbows. What is torn me from dignity as I become a whore. My own negligence caused the death of my son. I guess I believe if I died, I would be punished for what I let happen. So I ran and became part of Unity. Life was already a punishment. I didn't want it in death as well. So Star might have had a brother who died before her even coming out of the womb. She took a long sip of the drink and squealed with joy. Oh, this is good. The number one drink in Quantalot, long before its fall, Letty announced with pride. Leaning on my shoulder, Prism sighed. I always thought that I should never have become a mother. It's not like I chose to in the first place. As you know, it simply happens while you selling your body for just a few caps. Oh, Prism is Star's adopted mother. I didn't know that part. I thought she was just her mother. So, when you became pregnant, I was terrified, but then you changed. You chose to be responsible. You became everything I wish I had been so long ago. But it's all ruined now, I sighed. And it's all my fault. You'll be fine. All you need to do is stay calm and think of what to do. You are sure to find the right path. Prism told me before she took another sip of her drink. Doesn't matter what is so long as your mind is clear and you make the choice. You could read Star's first story next. But we are gonna finish this first. Then we will see where we are going with it. I felt calm. Everything was alright at this moment. I even felt like I could joke, despite the rarity. What if I decided to follow the same career of both my mothers? Sell my body for crabs? I asked with a chuckle. Prism frowned. That's not funny. Not when you can do far more than that. But I'm sure if you think it's just the right thing to do, then do it without regrets. Just don't make the same mistake I did and get lost in despair and hopelessness. And please, make sure Bridget has a mother for years to come. She sat up straight and finished her drink. Also, I wouldn't mind if you gave her a little brother or a sister. I just wish I could be there to see it. I laughed. I found the request unlike Prism, yet somehow it was something she wanted to say to me for a long time now. I would give almost anything to have you here with me again. Prism laughed as well. I know, but the price you would pay, from what Letty told me, is not worth paying. Letty took the empty glass and nodded. Yes, doing such things disrupt the natural flow of life and death. To have it flow in the reverse destabilizes the foundations of reality itself. Not even Discord would do such a thing, even in jest. That is true. Placing a hoop on my shoulder, Prism looked at me in the eyes with a serious look of determination. It's time, Star, so listen to me. Stay calm and don't lose your head. So long as you do that, everything will be fine. Mom, what are you talking about? I asked her. She hugged me. If I am not with you physically, I will do my best to be with you in spirit. Aww. But also, when you say don't lose your head, it just reminds me of Kill la Kill. Not Kill la Kill. The other anime, which is Don't Lose Your Mind. It's just something that happens all the time. Star, wake up! Jelly said as she stood at me. A look of worry was on her face. What happened? I asked as I sat up. I looked at my pillbox. It was still late, but getting close to morning. I must have been out of only for a few hours. You need to go, and now! She ordered at me firmly. What's going on? I asked, but the sound of shouting really confirmed what was going on. Do we have to knock over every one of those stands? Or bring her out now! As she shouted from the outside. I started to grab my sword. Jay stopped me and hissed. Are you mad? Damn right I am, and you should be too. I hissed back at her. Trust me, I'm as pissed as you, but I will not have a shootout here of all places, Jelly said calmly. I took my hoof off my sword and breathed in deeply to calm my mind. What did the dream tell me? To stay calm and don't lose my head? Fine, I resolved. What am I to do? And where is Bridget? The little one is safe. She's in the tent with the other force here, under close watch. She informed me as she moved to the tent door. There's a little passageway just behind this tent. It will take you to a cave you can hide in until they pass. I would have you teleported out, but that man is still dealing with the mess you left at the NCRCF. So run away and hide. It's just not fair, but fine. I would rather not cause trouble here. You are good folk, and you have to deal with the problem shit that it is. Oh. It's Star saying this, isn't it? It still sounds like she's continuing that. So run away and hide. So run away and hide. It's just not fair, but fine. I would rather not cause trouble here. You're good folk and you have to deal with any problem shit that it is. I told her as I got out my things. Thanks, and good luck, Joy told me as she left the tent. Drawing my cosmic cutlass, I made a cut at the back of the tent and hopped out. The nearly full moon helped me to see where I needed to go with the path illuminated just enough for me to find and follow it. Have you gone mad? This is a place of healing! Stop this nonsense! Jolly shouted in the distance. Poor pony harboring a known criminal? That's a lark! I shouted back. I wanted to go back, but I also knew that the old groove would be fine. Jolly has worked to help ponies far longer than I would have been alive. Not even now she could justify attacking her. Leaving the camp behind, the trail was not long. The caves were nested behind some dead bushes. Told as much. The one voice, a stop clock, spoke from within the cave. A small flame illuminated his face as he lit his cigarette. The followers are smart, but not smart enough to be unpredictable. I took a step back, but froze when I heard the cooking of a gun from behind me. Nowhere to go, Star. We know this part of the wasteland like the back of our hooves. The asshole sucked on his cigarette and settled it into the moonlight. There's only a few places you can run and hide here, and then she has the other deputies blocking the other routes. Now drop those weapons and all should be right here and now. Fuck! I breathed as I unlatched my saddlebag and let it slide off my back. Good. Now come quietly with us. You have the date with the news. Stop said to me as he levitated the revolver in my direction. I wanted to jump him and tear his throat out, but I stayed calm. I was outgunned and outmaneuvered right now. Anyways, if I go with him, I will likely get to see Ashley up close. Maybe get a shot at her. Once, one of Stop's close deputies ran off, as the rest escorted me around the followers' camp, where everything had gone silent. As we skirted the edges of the town, I could see lights in the distance, along with the sound of music. The Lightbringer festival must have started, meaning sunrise was not far off. We eventually arrived at the familiar place, the town graveyard. The place was dotted with both good and well-made tombstones, along with plenty of brick holes. Looks like the new grade have been really busy. Oh, the fucker is not as much a creeper like the last one, I said as I marched to the center of the graveyard where the gallows stood. Keep talking. Not a lot of good it will do you. Subcloak said as he poked me with his revolver. It was all I could do right now, so I flashed him a smile. Topsail got what he deserved. He stalked Cloudy and tried to kill me and all. Stopcock lowered his gun. Ah, finally willing to talk about that. Yeah, yes, I will. Not that I'm guilty of jack shit, but you're going to up and murder me no matter what I say, I told him. It's justice, not murder, he got out. That got a laugh out of me. Like how the NCRCF was totally not a slave labor camp, or how she's not just another cold-blooded received hit with the butt of the revolver to the side of my head caused me to stumble. I don't want to hear that out of the communist's mouth. And what? Shoot unarmed me and pretend it's not murder? I spat out at him. He raised his gun at me. A smile was on his face. It would be a mercy you don't deserve. That's enough! Shouted Ashy, as she stood over flanked by 6 more deputies. So the queen bitch is here. Kill any more innocent ponies lately? I mocked her. None I've killed were innocent. Every last one deserved what they got. As she assured calmly as she took it over. That includes you, Star. I glared at her. That good gun runners. I'm sure they will see it your way. I mean, after a long slide shares the video of you murdering Hardballer. I've heard also the Talons are the most foraging creatures in the wasteland. Once you are dead and all. Most foraging? Did you want to write forgiving? I think it was forgiving. She paused, but only for a moment. The cold uncaring look on her face did not falter once. He was at least innocent of them all, and far more deserving of worse fate than what he got. As she said, as she stood closer to me, until we were only a few years apart. I have suffered too long, and for some budding raider to give me a leap. Oh, fucking get up that hole! Who is me but to train, bitch? I didn't have the patience for the fox to give to even care about your life. I said with a snarl as I looked her in the eyes. It's the wasteland. Shit happens here and we all have no choice but to move on. You can keep digging up the past, but eventually the road will set in, and the crops you parade around will be just dust. As she drew a gun and smacked me with it. But unlike the revolver before, this felt awkward. Getting back up, I saw that she was holding Jacko's promise in her magic, Saltwood's gun, the same gun she used to kill Harballer. What do you even know, child? She asked with a gritted teeth. I glanced back at her. The feeling of rage was just barely held back. What do I know? How about the fact that you didn't unjustly throw me in prison? Maybe my mother would be still alive right now. I could have protected her, but no. I was breaking rock and fighting an insane steel ranger. I took a step forward. My eyes locked on her. The magic in my eyes kept her frozen in place. And suffering? Prism suffered all her life, and not once did she lash out. No, not even once. She saved me and helped others. When she was tied down by spike chains, she cared more about my safety. When her wings were sawed off, she didn't stop to cry. Instead, she fought on and never regretted losing them. Prism suffered, but all you saw was a monster worthy of your hate. I felt pain in my eyes, as its power drained me. I was pushing all my own pain at her. I wanted her to feel everything. You know what I see right now? Looking back at me, I see a monster in the form of a pony, and that monster deserves all my hate. I felt another hit to the side of my head, which sent me to the ground. Stubb stood above me. A look of disgust was on his face. So you are a mutant. I had always suspected. My vision was reddish from the blood in my eyes. I had let it all out. Let another pony see it, and it felt good. As she had fallen over and was being helped up by 2 of the deputies. Shock and horror were on her face, along with hate and disgust. Sing her up before she does any more strange magic, she wheezed out. I was dragged away by several deputies. Several more trained their guns on me. I was going nowhere but to the gallows. Pulled up, a noose was placed around my neck as the beach washed. Subcook spoke loudly with authority. I will now list the crimes this pony has committed. The way he said pony sounded as though he was talking about some monster in the shape of a pony. So, Ashy. Arson, vandalism, assault and battery, extortion, public indecency, listed. I was drunk at the time, I clarified. Wait, arson? Arson? Did they call when they were cleaning up the camp where the red scorpions were as arson and the fire ants? He continued. Oh, she almost burned down the town once. I thought that was the other time doing this in the beginning. When they got the car. He continued. Underage drinking, discharge of firearm in public place, possible murder of the town gravedigger, consulting with raiders and supplying them with arms. I'm not someone who should say this, but I'm pretty sure that all of this applies to you as well, Stop Clock, and Ashy as well. I rolled my eyes. The Desperados are not raiders, for fuck's sake. They will not much of anything soon, Stop Clock sneered. Something in me didn't like the sound of that. What do you mean by that? What have you done? He glared at me as he explained. By now, they should have been exterminated down to the last raider. Oh, they didn't know. They don't know yet. Took some planning. It was only made more difficult by your arrival, but it matters not anymore. By sunrise, their camp will be nothing but ash, and corpses all raiders should end up. You what? I shouted as my blood boiled. You have innocent They have innocent father and Adelita. The Desperados aren't raiders, they're ponies. Their families live there. How can you even do that? Is your fucking justice here on just some excuse? Stop Clock? Is what she says true? As she asked her deputy. In the way, there are several generations of raiders living there. They are simply passed on their madness to the next generation as they always have and always will. We are simply pulling out this problem at its roots. For the good of all, he coldly explained. Oh, Brahmin shit, you ignorant fuck, I said loudly, glaring at them with all my hate. You are so far up in your own ass that you can't tell raiders from gangers. The Desperados are only still here because of that blue sky contract keeping them here. What's wrong with you? All of you? He glared back at me coldly. We are perfectly normal, unlike monsters like you. It was Blue Skies who generously kept those raiders in one place and offered their help in the extermination of their nest. I looked at Tashi, who was avoiding eye contact with her rat. And you, Miss Justice, believe any of this? How I see it? Ashi's voice was not just cold, but it felt empty. Even if what you say is true, it still doesn't change what the Desperados are. A roving band of marauders, which is another way to describe raiders. I've seen all types of raiders in my time, and it all ends the same, given time. They either kill you, or you kill them. Even the fours eventually come back as full-fledged raiders, so they must be raised from the ground, and the land salted, otherwise they will return. For the good of all, any raiders of slavers must be killed. It doesn't matter if they say they don't do that anymore. At least for the sake of their victims, they must die. Oh, so you are saying actually that you should die? From what I see, the deputies of this town, all of them, well, most of them, are basically like raiders with power. That's what they are. I laughed. Just the idea of me thinking she could even care was comical to me. It was ridiculous to me now. I hated it so much. Spoken like an evil pony, if I ever heard one before. At least I stopped to think what I'm doing is wrong. That maybe I should do something different, but you go all in and don't look back. You feel so sure that you are right, you're willing to act just like a raider. Oh, how the mighty has fallen! The great slaver hunter, the bringer of order, now nothing more than a raider who just sells police into slavery. Once my terrorist is another freedom fighter. True. Just then shouted, "Enough! I hereby judge you guilty and sentence you to be hung by the neck until dead." One of the deputies pulled the lever, and the floor beneath me gave away. Instinctively, I tightened the muscles in my neck, which helped prevent the fall from snapping my neck. No way I was making this easy on them. It would be so funny if she actually had training like the Shaolin monks. You have seen them, they can just hang themselves and just being hung for like 40 minutes and have literally no problem. Because of their massive neck muscles. And horses have really good muscles. So a loud flash illuminated the graveyard, followed by the bang that echoed through the town. If I was not slowly being strangled to death, I would have laughed at the fact that I sent up got some fireworks. At least gave me a better look at Takeshy as more fireworks lit up the sky. She looked as though she had not slept in days. Deep bags were under her eyes, and her clothes were disheveled. If anything, I was sure she would be following me in death soon, hopefully by her own gun. A light lit up the sheriff and the deputies. It got brighter and brighter. Deputies ran as though from something. They pulled out their guns. No, that was not fireworks. Those were guns blazing. Everything flipped around for a moment. The noose around my neck suddenly loosened. After a moment, I realized Harp was looking down at me, and I was in the smuggler. The rubber of the gallows was all around us, and its gun fired widely. "You are late!" I scolded them as I threw off the noose, and got up and to look around. Now, which asshole has my shit? And that is basically a cliffhanger ending. Because next time, I don't know if it's gonna, probably not tomorrow. Probably on Thursday, so 2 days from now. We are gonna continue this with some action. And we know that Takeshy is not gonna survive this. Takeshy is no way gonna survive this. Is it actually good to kill Takeshy and the deputies? Some of the deputies have nothing to do with this. But as they say, if you don't kill the fool and salt the land, they will come back. Some tutti, point and shooty. Yes, that's gonna happen. 2 days from now. Tomorrow I don't plan to do anything like this. I might record some other stuff, as you know. I have some things to do. But yeah, unfortunately that is war. No, in war, there are actually speaking. They can get terms. Peace treaties. Can happen. But I'm 100% sure that it's not gonna happen. Takeshy is gonna die, Stopper is gonna die. I was sure that Star is not gonna die here. If you killed Star, then I would have been thrown off. As long as the other side is willing to talk. That's the problem here. Ashy is not willing to talk. And obviously Stokecock is not gonna talk. There was one more deputy, wasn't there? Well, if Star dies... wait. Did Star or Harp got the Pito? Which one of them got the Ambrosia? I forgot. I know that sort of used it on one of them. But yeah, Willow is the only one who can be reasoned with. Huh. Oh, then I was about to say that, yeah, Star can come back to life, but no, it's not. If it wasn't Star. Well, you can't regenerate from death, it's like, it's like the cancer thing. If you die, you can't regenerate, there's nothing left to regenerate anymore. So it's Harp and Live got it. Yep. Okay. So I hope for this, what is gonna happen? That's my prediction. Ashy and Stopcrook are gonna die, and Willow is gonna be the new deputy in the town. They are not gonna do anything to the town because they are not raiders, and now that Star is calm, she can stop any other ponies from being hurt. They had nothing to do with this. Some of the other deputies might die as well. But it's not gonna be just killing them. Sheriff, yeah? But this is not gonna be just killing them. They are gonna put them in the town center and then play the video. And after that, they kill them. So every pony in the town knows why they are being killed. Or maybe I can see Star letting the harpies, not the harpies, the griffins kill Ashy. I can see that. Longside, she is all yours. After they catch her. And also because she has Chekhov's gun, we can see a slow misfire when she needs it the most. And that's why she's gonna get caught. That's my prediction. I might be wrong, but we will find out next time. Thank you for being here, even though it was not planned. We were done in an hour, that's nice. But yeah, now I'm gonna go and actually start recording some stuff. Because, you know, I want to finish up my pony in this year. At least not my pony. I want to finish this season of my pony. And I have some other stuff to record as well. So now I'm gonna go. Thank you for being here and see you next time in the next reading session. Bye bye. There you go. Nothing is real.